we? Do we believe in the promise of America? And are we ready to fight for it? And when we fight, we win. God bless you. God bless the United States of America.
Everything Kamala touches turns into a total disaster. She's destroyed San Francisco with her policies. Check out San Francisco. 20 years ago, it was the greatest city in our country. Today, it's not a livable city. She'll destroy our country if she's elected, so we won't let her be elected. We can't let that happen. Unbelievably, despite all of the damage she's caused, radical, liberal Kamala Harris now wants a promotion to deliver 4 more years of chaos. We've had the worst 4 years. You know, I say about Biden, if you took the 10 worst presidents in the history of our country, added them up, they won't have done the damage that crooked Joe Biden has done. But this November, the American people are going to tell her, no thanks, Kamala. You've done a terrible job. You've been terrible at everything you've done. You're ultra-liberal, and we don't want you here. We don't want you anywhere. Kamala, you're fired. Get out of here. You're fired.
Oh, no! We suck again!
For me, the values of diversity, equality, inclusion are literally, and that's not kidding, the core strengths of America. That's why I'm proud to have the most diverse administration in history that taps into the full talents of our country and starts at the top with the vice president.
Last night, our president addressed the nation, and he showed once again
I've been really
what
trying,
he really did. His
trying to
words
hold back this
were
feeling
poignant.
for
He
so
takes a
long.
moment about the importance of reminding people
And if you feel
teaching America's
like I feel, baby,
he
come on.
and talks
Oh,
about his work and our country.
let's get it on.
Understanding what it means now and how that will
Let's
impact.
get it on.
He thinks about our history.
Let's love, baby. Let's get it on.
The right's not supporting Kamala Harris because she's a black woman. Meanwhile, the most famous female political commentator on the right is... The left is so tired. Get a new line.
I want you to watch this absolutely amazing cut that went viral this morning of the media telling you Kamala Harris is the border czar, which she was, and now telling you what they told you was in fact fake in the worst act of retconning I have ever seen, or attempted retconning. Watch this.
Quote unquote border czar. Vice President Harris was not a border czar.
Meantime, Vice President and border czar Kamala Harris facing some backlash.
What he said about Harris and immigration was not true. She was never appointed border czar.
And this will be her first visit to the U.S.-Mexico border region since she was appointed as the border czar by President Biden.
People gonna have to counter the misinformation. You already hear folks talking about the border czar. She wasn't the border czar.
President Biden tapped Kamala Harris, Vice President Kamala Harris, to be the border czar.
Now, she wasn't the border czar. That's what Republicans labeled her.
They were very critical of Kamala Harris, especially in her role as border czar.
Now what she's up against is folks lying about her border record, calling her a border czar.
Kamala Harris, who was appointed as the border czar.
The Biden team didn't declare her the border czar. They wanted her to work on kind of the root causes of immigration.
There has been so much criticism against Kamala Harris. You know, she was the border czar.
Calling her sort of the border czar, which wasn't necessarily the case.
So the border, if they weren't planning to address it in a major way, do not make her your border czar. She met with some of the Northern Triangle countries, but nothing has effectively changed.
Please, to the dipshit, loser, life zero, skell, idiot.
Okay. Do you have any plans to visit the border?
At some point, you know, we are going to the border. We've been to the border. So this whole thing about the border, we've been to the border. We've been to the border.
You haven't been to the border.
And I haven't been to Europe. And I mean, I don't understand the point that you're making.
Imagine this, using black celebrities to tell black folks how oppressed they are. Are we on punked? Now that's some Matrix shit. Oops. Did I say that out loud? Shh, y'all don't tell nobody else. Y'all know we ain't supposed to know.
People are saying Joe Biden looks a lot taller because we just got footage of him walking out the White House, and take a look at this. So you can see him next to his wife right here. Here's some older pictures of them, and just notice the height difference, right? Now let's go back to the video. She's also wearing heels, by the way. There's obviously something going on here. People are also talking about how you can clearly see a reflection of a teleprompter or a green screen, whatever it is. Of course, this is all conspiracy and not proven, but very odd.
Donald Trump calls on FBI Director Wray to resign after yesterday's judiciary hearing. He stated that if Wray was being honest and genuinely did not recognize Biden's cognitive decline during their briefings throughout the year, then he should, quote, resign immediately from the FBI and to stop sweet-talking Congress.
Who's been in on this conspiracy to hide the real Joe Biden from all of us for years? It never occurred to you that this guy wasn't up to it in all these briefings you did?
As I said, my briefings with the president have all been completely fine.
Were they between 10 a.m. and 4 p.m.?
He's asked questions.
Wait. What?
Me, the values of diversity, equality, inclusion are literally, and that's not kidding, the core strengths of America. That's why I'm proud to have the most diverse administration in history. It taps into the full talents of our country and starts at the top with the Vice President.
Where's that coming from? Maybe it's woodpeckers. It's either that or the demons. They love to interrupt. And you know what demons really hate? Is that when you laugh at them and you don't take them seriously and you just say, oh, it's just you. It's just you, goofy, trying to interrupt the telling of one of the greatest stories and parables ever told. Well, maybe I'll chase off the demons. I'll be right back. Hey, you guys. Hey, be gone. Be gone. And don't disturb us anymore. All right. The peace of the Lord.
So here's the thing with the slopes. You go all up to like 1812, you can go to a 112, which is about as flat as you can get without it being completely flat. And you're saying that there was a danger, safety concern there, but the problem is, Director, you put your counter snipers on a 312 roof, which is steeper than the 112. And by the way, the 112 is ADA compliant. You can build a ramp for a wheelchair on a 112 roof. So these are nothing but pathetic excuses, and they make no sense, and they're a bunch of cow dung. All the law enforcement I've spoken with over the last 9 days are amazed that the AGR rooftop was not secure. And you want to know why? Because it's dangerous. I have never had any long gun training in my life. I own an AR-15, and last time I shot it one time my whole life. It was 6 years ago. That is until Saturday, where we recreated the events in Savoy, Texas. We recreated what happened in Butler. I was lying prone on a sloped roof at 130 yards at 6:30 at night. And I knew that he had a scope. I didn't know what kind, red dot or magnified. So I shot 8 rounds from both. You know what the result was? 15 out of 16 kill shots. And the one I missed would have hit the president's ear. That's a 94% success rate. And that shooter was a better shot than me. It is a miracle President Trump wasn't killed. Corey Comparatori's life is over because that damn shooter made it on the roof. And it wasn't the roof that was dangerous. It was a nut job on top of the roof. You know what else is dangerous? I believe your horrifying ineptitude and your lack of skilled leadership is a disgrace. Your obfuscating today is shameful. And you should be fired immediately and go back to Garden Doritos. Mr. Chairman, I yield back.
United States of America is a nation, and that positive nationalist vision is our future.
JD, there might be some difference between you and he on certain, but the diagnosis is identical.
Yes.
Please go into that.
We prioritized a neoliberal vision for this country above all costs, treating the United States as some kind of economic zone rather than as a nation. We grew dependent on an enemy, an adversary for our modern way of life, even for our own military and pharmaceutical supply chain. You have millions of people in this country, many of whom tens of millions are here illegally, that have no allegiance to the United States of America. That's a problem and not an economic argument. I think the future question for us as a movement, do we want to use the regulatory apparatus in good ways for American workers and manufacturers? Or do we actually want to get in there and dismantle it and shut it down? We need a smarter breed of politician who's able to have that debate in a pro-American way and to have the deeper commitment of rejecting the neoliberal dogmas of yesterday.
Yeah, I really think Kamala did a terrible job as border czar.
That's because you're racist.
I mean, don't you think her stance on abortions, particularly late-term abortions, is kind of extreme?
That's because you hate women. You're sexist.
Can someone please just give me a valid reason as to why they're voting for Kamala Harris? So far, the only two that I've heard is because she's a woman and she's black. I mean, from the exact same people that can't define what a woman is and who say not to judge people based off the color of their skin. Okay. Thought we learned our lesson with Obama, but apparently not. Actually terrifying that this is the type of woman that people want as the president of the United States. Really want a woman that's known for using her mouth to get to the positions that she's in. And I don't mean public speeches. But then again, based off the morals of the women of the left, not surprising. Don't get me wrong, I'm not against having a woman president, but I'm not going to vote for someone just because they've got a cooch. Especially one that is pro-defund the police and open border. Those are the same ones that say that Trump is trying to take down the democracy and you don't even realize what's happening in front of your own eyes. You now have a candidate that you did not vote for. This has never happened before. All you are is a puppet in their game. I thank you for your service of being a little social justice warrior for the past 4 years, but we don't want that anymore. You want a woman president so bad? I'm sure that it's not one that's going to be a complete embarrassment to our country. When push comes to shove, it's not going to matter what's in her pants or the color of her skin. It's time that you start actually using your brain because we can't afford another 4 years of this. Have a good day.
Yo, look at this photo Krusty just posted. What do you notice about this photo? Look at this woman in the front here. She's not even looking at her. She's right in front of her. She's looking straight ahead. Then look at this Ginge right here. He doesn't even want to be there. She's literally like dapping up some dweeb and he's not even looking. Bro's playing Pokemon. He's like, what are we even doing? Like, look at this guy. What are you looking at? Bro, she's right in front. Like, she's giving a dap, like, over his shoulder. And he's like, I am not looking at this crustacean. Like, literally the only person that's looking at her in this entire photo is this guy. And he's... Are you good, Stuart? Like, I'm not even kidding around. If you look at this photo, literally not a single person is looking at her. The only person that probably is this woman behind this woman who doesn't even know why she's here. She took a wrong turn at the Chick-fil-A. The only person looking at her probably is this person that's literally clasped hands with her. And maybe this lady. Maybe. Everyone else is just like, see no else. Like, you know when you take a photo of a dog and you put the treat like behind the camera? Like, I honestly think somebody is standing behind her giving out like free Gendy surgeries or something.
Non-binary ex-Biden nuclear official Sam Britton, who was charged with felony suitcase theft, pled guilty to petite larceny. He has to do a letter of apology, undergo a mental health evaluation. You know, if this were you, you'd be in prison.
I'd be in prison. Well, I don't know how they would deal with me. I don't clean up as well as this gal.
Yeah.
But you steal one bag. Does that make you a bag thief? Oh, yeah, 3 times. That's right. I forgot that this is a repeat offender who keeps getting away with this. Also, what a weird crime.
Probably didn't give him a mental evaluation because they didn't want to, cross any, offend anybody.
I'm willing to do it here and now. I'm going to look at this image here.
Yeah.
My mental evaluation, crazy.
Is the Trump campaign backing out of the debates? No, of course not. The Trump campaign is not backing out of the debates. You can pause here and read Trump's entire statement, but basically it boils down to the fact that the Democrats had a nominee and we had a presidential debate. It went so poorly for them that their guy literally dropped out of the race. The Democrats don't officially even have a replacement. Kamala Harris is the presumptive nominee, but even Barack Obama seems to be holding out, waiting for somebody better. It makes no sense to finalize the details of a debate with someone who isn't even the actual nominee yet. Who's to say they don't yank Kamala at the last minute like they yanked Joe Biden? Do they just want a round robin where Trump has to debate every single potential Democratic nominee and then what, they just pick the one that fares the best?
You don't have to like Trump, but you've got to respect him. If his true colors are standing up and raising his fist after he gets shot at, I think that's a relentless dude. It's probably one of the coolest, most inspiring things I've seen in a long time, and I think it's going to impact a lot of people.
If you're thinking about voting for Kamala Harris, please stop scrolling. This is her official statement on the war in Ukraine. Ukraine is a country in Europe. It exists next to another country called Russia. Russia is a bigger country. Oh my God, I should be taking notes. Russia is a powerful country. Russia decided to invade a smaller country, probably for no reason at all. Probably has nothing to do with NATO, probably for no reason. Called Ukraine. So basically, that's wrong. My IQ just dropped 500 points negative. My IQ's negative after reading this statement by Kamala Harris. If you vote for this warmonger, I don't want to hear you cry about being drafted. And reminder, dear friends, Putin has already agreed to negotiate a peace deal with Donald Trump and Donald Trump alone. He is our chance at world peace. Do not fumble this, please.
Well, I've heard that recently I've been on the For You page, so I thought I'd get on here myself.
Not on my fucking For You page, you haven't been. Sorry, bitch. You haven't been on my For You page and you never will be.
Reason number one, I'm voting for Donald Trump for president in 2024, illegal immigration. Do you know that over the past 4 years, this country has seen upwards of 10 million illegal immigrants enter this country, okay? So now that number sounds big. It is big. It is very real. What does that mean for the average person's life? Well, in New York City, where I spend a lot of my time, what it means is that a lot of the illegal immigrants that are being shipped to New York City are very detrimental to the lives of actual citizens that live in the city. How are they detrimental to the lives of the citizens that actually live in the city? First of all, there is a competition for resources. These illegal immigrants take over these schools in lower income, yes, black neighborhoods, deeply in Brooklyn. They are overwhelming those systems. So now those kids don't have anywhere to go. There are buildings in deep Brooklyn that they use for after school things. They use for after school programs for lower income kids. Guess what just turns into an illegal immigrant shelter? Also, as somebody that pays a large amount of tax dollars in New York City, my tax dollars are currently going to $10,000 debit cards, okay, to give to illegal immigrants who are also actually being kept up in hotel rooms in Midtown where they get room service and they get to order in food and all of that stuff. And guess what else pays for that? My tax dollars.
Yeah, and then there's the DEI press secretary telling you that the DEI vice president is the future of the party here. And so the future looks kind of dim for the Democrats here, but this is no shocker either. Kamala Harris, she's the original hawk tuah girl. That's the way she got where she is. And the party's going downhill if it's in her hands.
That was tough. That was
really tough.
that was harsh.
Hey, put your feet up there, bro.